What's up, movie nerds and basketball geeks? Welcome back to Movie Ball. And I just want to ask a question. Does anyone remember when I was doing like top 10 rankings of each position in the NBA? No, right? Probably not, because I started that series in like November and it's fucking March now. And I finished at like small forwards and I just never really actually completed the list. Let's do that. I am not going by the position these players might be playing at. Like, for example, if Julius Randle is playing fucking shooting guard, I'm not going to consider him a shooting guard because he's a power forward. So, don't get mad at me if LeBron James has been running point guard duties all season, but he's really a small forward. Like, when we talk about the best point guards of all time, you don't bring up LeBron. But talk about the best small forwards of all time, you bring up LeBron. That's just how it goes. That's how I feel comfortable in making these rankings and lists. So if you don't like it, still like, comment, subscribe, obviously. But then just exit out of the video. At number 10, I've got LaMarcus Aldridge of the San Antonio Spurs. It's kind of crazy what can happen to an NBA player over the course of their career, because as of just last season, Aldridge was playing like a top 5 power forward in the league. But if you rewind like 2 or 3 years before that, he might not have even cracked the top 15. Fittingly, I have him at number 10 as he's currently averaging about 18 points and 7 rebounds. Aldridge is still a very capable player, as even though his stats are down from his best years, he's still putting up numbers equivalent to the years that earned Paul Millsap his All-Star nods. However, he has still regressed, and I think it's about time he kind of bring light to that, because he's not as good as he used to be. He's still very good and capable, as I said, but if he was playing better, the Spurs would be in the 7th or 8th seed at least and not miss the playoffs for like the first time ever. DeRozan has had to carry much of the load, and if Aldridge was there to give him a little bit more help, then I think that they could manage to be in the playoffs for sure. But unfortunately, I just think at this time, at this stage in Aldridge's career, he's better off as like a third option for a true contender. At number 9, we have Kevin Love. Although he's nowhere near as dominant as he used to be, and it seems like people have to bring that up every single time they mention his name now, he's still a very effective scorer and rebounder in the right role, and he can definitely serve as a fantastic third option for any NBA team. Unfortunately, he's still stuck in the land where hopefully he will be freed this summer, but I almost put Aldridge ahead of Kevin Love, but, the two are kind of interchangeable because their stats are pretty similar, but I just think I prefer Kevin Love's three-point shooting, which is much better than LaMarcus Aldridge's, and he's just a better, I think, on-court kind of leader, and that more, championship pedigree has just aided into me believing in Kevin Love a little bit more than LaMarcus Aldridge. Coming in at number 8 is John Collins of the Atlanta Hawks. Collins is a player that is continuously slept on, and I'm not really sure why up to this point. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it, but I honestly think he's going to be an integral part of the Hawks' future and their organization moving forward, and he's one of the few players on this list that is actually not only just averaging a double-double, but 20 and 10. He is a great second option to Trae Young, and I definitely see all-star potential in his future. Not so sure about superstardom, but he can definitely move up this list in the coming years, but for now, I've got to rock with him at the number 8 spot. In 7th place, I have none other than Zion Williamson. I know it's pretty absolutely bonkers, but is it really? At 23 points and 7 rebounds per game, we're looking at a rookie who is dominating every single time he steps on the court. These are numbers that put Kristaps Porzingis in the All-Star game a few years back. He just seems to be getting better every time he plays, and I know it might seem a little disrespectful to put him over All-Star veterans like Kevin Love and LaMarcus Aldridge, but at this moment, he's just better than them. If I had made this video back when I was actually making these lists, like in November and December, then Zion wouldn't have even made this list. He wouldn't have made the cut because he didn't even play in an NBA game yet. He wasn't healthy, but so much can change so fast, and Zion is clearly headed for superstardom. At number 6, I've got Kristaps Porzingis of the Dallas Mavericks. Porzingis might have started the season off a little slow as he was trying to work his way back from an injury and trying to get back into the shape of things, but low-key, he's arguably having the best season of his career. Sure, when he was named an All-Star, he averaged 22 points, but he also averaged 6 rebounds. That sucks. If you're over 7 feet tall, grab the damn basketball. It's not that hard. Just hustle a little bit. But that's exactly what he's doing this season, as he's averaging 18 points to go along with a career-high 9 rebounds. So the point differential from his All-Star season of this year is only 3 or 4 points away. He's looking extremely dominant in recent games, and he's just going to get more and more comfortable and move up on this list as he continues to dominate both offensively and defensively. Next up, at number 5 in the league, I have Domantas Sabonis. Sabonis was always a double-double machine when given the minutes, but finally in a starting role this year, he was named an all-star with stellar stats. He's averaging 18 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists per game while leading the Pacers to a very solid record. Like KP, he's still young, and as he continues to develop and gain more experience, he's only going to get better and move up on this list. Coming in at 4th, I'm going to go with Pascal Siakam. I debated putting Siakam in the top 3, but ultimately, I don't think his game is quite there yet or has the resume to make me really believe that he deserves to be a top 3 power forward in this league in my eyes. He's still averaging 23 points and 7 rebounds, which is really good, but that's what Zion is averaging, who I had at like number 7. And I mean, don't get me wrong, those are great numbers, and it's still, he's having an incredible season and helping the Raptors become one of the best teams in the league, but I just think his rebounding numbers still need to go up. He's only averaging 7. I think he needs to get it up to at least 9. You're, like I said about KP, get those numbers up. Like, you just grab the basketball, hustle a little bit. I know you can do everything on the court very well. Just grab a couple more rebounds. I'll be a little bit more satisfied. Maybe we'll get you into the top 3 in a couple years. In 3rd place, and now this might bother some people, but I'm confident in saying it, I have Blake Griffin. Sure, Blake is having yet again another injury-riddled campaign that has completely ruined his team's outlook and got Andre Drummond traded, and just it's looking like another colossal failure because of injuries for Blake's season once again. And when he was actually playing, he was playing absolutely abysmal with some of the worst percentages and numbers of his career to date. But are we all just going to forget about how good of a season Blake had last year? He averaged 24 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists, and those are superstar numbers. Many have called that season from Blake the best of his career, which I don't quite think it is. It's definitely up there. It's top 3 for sure. It's arguable. It's debatable. I mean, if you say it's the best, I'm not going to fucking, shoot you. It's for sure a good season from Blake. I mean, those are superstar numbers, like I said, and I don't quite think Sabonis, Siakam, or KP are quite on the level of Blake's superstardom that he's had over his career. Sure, we're going by currency, the current goodness, if you will, of these players, but because of that resume from Blake, because we know how dominant he can be when he's healthy and playing, I still have to consider him a top 3 power forward in this league. In 2nd place is Lakers big man Anthony Davis. For a long time, Anthony Davis was the best power forward in the league, and maybe to some people he still is, but I think he was overtaken a year or 2 ago, and I think it might be pretty obvious once you realize who I'm leaving out on this list, but Anthony Davis is his usual common self, averaging about 26 points, 9 rebounds, being dominant on the defensive end as well, and actually contributing to a winning season for once. I mean, I know he had a couple of good playoff seasons with the Pelicans, but doing something that seems like it's actually going to matter with the Lakers. Of course, he kind of was a snake and forced his way out of the Pelicans to finally get to the Lakers, but still, I do wish his rebounds were up again, like with a couple of other people I said. I mean, 9 rebounds is good, but he's been averaging 12 rebounds, 11 rebounds throughout his career. I mean, what happened? I mean, I guess that's kind of commonplace when you're playing with the king, but still, man, you're in your prime. You're still young. Get those boards. And in 1st place is obviously Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's averaging 29 points, 13 rebounds, and 6 assists per game, and is once again the MVP frontrunner. He's just a top 5 player in the league. I don't think he deserved the MVP last year. I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, but I would have picked James Harden. But this year, he's clearing away the front runner, and it honestly probably should be unanimous. I mean, LeBron's, you have a case for him, but Giannis is just so goddamn unstoppable. He can do so many things. James Harden said he doesn't have skill. James Harden was right to clap back at him. I'm not mad at him for it, but Giannis has a lot of skill. Sure, it might have been easier for him to score and kind of run and dunk because he's got that athletics. He's got athleticism and that freakish ability to kind of do whatever he wants because he's so goddamn big, but he has sharpened his skills with his distribution and his court vision and his defense. I mean, everything's there. And, yeah, he's the best power forward in the league. So that's my list. Relatively quick, relatively easy, relatively obvious. I mean, I don't think there's any glaring player that I left off of this list. If I was thinking about Julius Randle, but he's kind of had a down season. I had bigger expectations for him. Plus, he's on my Knicks, and we're terrible. So, I'm kind of mad at him for that. At this point, if you want to say Anthony Davis is better than Giannis, I mean, I'm not gonna be mad, but Giannis is better. And, the Bucks are about to win 70 games this season. Like, they're on track to do that. So I just think at this point, about to have 2 MVPs, 70 games, I mean, that's got to count for something. He's not a snake. Blake Griffin, Some people might be a little bothered by that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if his prime years are behind him at this point. He's just so goddamn injury prone, and it looks like he's gonna be on a downhill slope. But I still have him as top 3 at this point in time. He will be moved past quickly, but yeah. Let me know what your list would be like down below. If you agree, if you don't agree, if you want me to fucking, I don't know, stop making videos as a whole, just say it. I'm not gonna stop because you say it, but if that's your opinion, voice it. Voice your opinion. It's getting continuously harder to think of something to say in this final portion of the video where I make some stupid joke. And this is the joke. This is what you get for sticking around.